wireworms are going to be attracted to this potato, and they're going to bore into it. And then what you do is, before you plant your potatoes, you pull out those pieces of potatoes and make sure you get every one of them. That's why you put them on a skewer. And like a lollipop, there'll be worms in there, and you just destroy those in the fire or in the garbage. And if you do enough of that, you're going to reduce the population down to, you're going to have to do it every year, but you'll reduce the population enough to be tolerable. And then, of course, just go through it
and pick out any of them.
Pick them out, yeah, along with the adults, because the adults lay eggs every year.
Okay. Because, well, once you plant your potatoes and get the straw on top, you really got to let it sit.
You got to let it sit. You're not going to talk.
Okay.
And that gives it a good environment for the wireworms to be protected from birds and whatever. Mm-hmm. This year, I'm going to try diatomaceous earth and mix it in with my soil. I don't know if it'll work in that condition. Usually it's, dry and powdery on a leaf. Mm-hmm. But I'm wondering whether these will be affected by that.
I would imagine definitely would treat the beetle. I don't know about the wireworm.
As long as it treats something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, there's a nematode that you can buy, supposedly. I have not tried that. That gets a little expensive as far as I'm concerned, and a little bit too much work than I want to go through.
Yeah. It's very cool, though, when people use insects beneficial insects to control the pests in the garden.
Yeah, really cool.
Yeah. Great. So then, or what I was getting to a few minutes ago was... so we've got it. We've harvested. We've pulled out our Christmas tree of potatoes.
Yeah.
And we get those inside all put away. Now
you're also not all of them are going to stay on the plant. You're going to have to kind of
dig through a little bit.
Dig with your hands, but you don't need to use any tools because you haven't walked on this soil. It's in a container. Just run your hands through. It's very friable. And you'll pick out a lot of potatoes that are way down the bottom, too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Now, can we reuse the soil, or should we dump it all out?
No. Reuse it, but for another crop.
Oh, okay.
Next year. I mean, actually, it's a little late in the year. Maybe you can plant some lettuce in there. That's fine. But by that time, in October, I'm ready to just say, okay, I've got to dry. I've got to make some tomato sauce. I have to make ketchup. I have to make sauerkraut. So I've got enough things to do that I'm not going to replant that. But maybe that's a bad attitude.
I mean, you've worked, hard all summer, and now you just want to get that stuff on the plate, right?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah. So you can just take the soil out of our containers and mix it in with our other vegetable beds or even our perennial beds.
If you don't, let's say you had a bag, you could definitely put that in the compost pile and add it to the soil somewhere. I just leave the soil and move on. I'll amend it in the spring or through the winter and plant something else there.
Cool. Any other, from your many years and your wisdom and managing potatoes or growing potatoes, any other words of advice, or do you think this is a good place for us to get a start with?
Well, potatoes are always a good place to start with. The only problem that I've had in growing potatoes is I've tried for years and years to grow tater tots.
Okay.
They're like my second most favorite potato, but they're processed. They're processed in potato pancakes. That's processed, and that's close to tater tot. I'm just looking forward to potatoes, the new potatoes, and then this year I'm going to grow russets so that I have not grown russets yet.
And russets that's the traditional Idaho potato, right?
Idaho potato, yes,
there we
indeed.
Go.
That's the baked potato, and that's, I guess, what I'm after. But I never had. Last year I grew Irish cobble, which you sell. Mm-hmm. Very, very good potato. It's a very nice potato, large, good yield. It's good for just about anything, I think. It's a white potato.
Okay.
And of course, while we're talking about colors, you've got a variety of colors and textures and sizes out there. There's the colorful potatoes, the blues, the reds, the purples, and they're just amazing. And they're also higher in antioxidants if you're looking for a higher nutritional value from your potatoes.
Okay.
The thing is, a colored potato, when it's boiled, tends to turn some other color than you're used to.
Like Easter eggs.
Yeah, kind of like Easter eggs. Yeah. And then the fingerling potatoes, they're the very fancy French potato, They're very expensive to buy. And you can grow them willy-nilly in your garden and feel very French and very important and serve them to your guests.
Oh,
yeah.
One of the finer vegetables.
It is a high-class vegetable. And then the red skin potatoes, they're great as new potatoes, the waxy potatoes. I'm glad we started with what you like for a potato, because if you make a potato, if you like chowder, or you're going to make a clam chowder after you go clamming in August, as we all do, or we used to anyway.
Yeah.
You want to use a waxy potato because that, like a Yukon Gold.
Okay.
And there's a list that I have here. I'll have that available when you buy your potatoes at Mackeys, what the different varieties are used for.
Okay, yeah. We'll put that up on, we always put the episode up on our website.
Yeah.
And in there's a whole list of, all the key stuff that we think is good to remember after we're done. And
so, you want to pick the potato that you want to use it for. And there's no reason why you can't just grow one container of Yukon Gold, for example. Or if you want to try different varieties, just try one container. And so you have 6 containers. You can try 6 different varieties and decide what you want. That's the glory of it. It's like a tomato plant. You got to buy a 6-pack of tomatoes, right?
Yeah.
You only have to buy 1 seed potato. They may look at you a little funny, but don't let that bother you.
No, we would never.
No, you wouldn't.
No. But I think you bring up a really great point. And that's kind of back to the hobby of it all. The way you talk about it is, even after doing this for so many years, still trying new things, seeing how it goes, learning from that process. And that's like the exploratory, rewarding part of it. And there's definitely, if it always went perfect, it probably wouldn't be as fun.
It wouldn't be, no.
But what you learn and what you accomplish and then what you overcome, trying new things every year, that's part of the experience and the exploration of the whole process.
Yeah. You learn a lot from your mistakes, and I guess you don't learn a lot of new things from your successes.
No, those are just ego strokes.
That's right. I don't know. My success has come from my mistakes, certainly. Trying different things, always never giving up.
Sounds like a life lesson in those potatoes there.
It can be.
Yeah.
Mr. Potato Head means a lot more. He represents life in general, doesn't he? Mr. Potato Head, he can have a certain hat one day and another hat another day, another expression. Also, kind of growing potatoes.
Yeah. Well, Len, for today's episode and being put on the spot, I think you did a great job.
Yeah, I'm glad I didn't. Yeah. I didn't have any notes with me here, and let's do it again sometime too.
Awesome. Well, Len, thank you so much, and we'll look forward to seeing what our yields are this summer and see what we accomplish.
You got to definitely try potatoes. If you're going to do one thing, try potatoes.
Absolutely. All right, Len. Well, thank you very much.
You bet.
Thank you all for listening. For notes from this episode, check out the blog section of our website at mackeysinc.com. That's MACKEYSINC.com. And remember, where that is in which you love, that's home. Mackeys, where the home grows.